Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Keeping It Real with America's Supermom. This is a special edition because we are talking about gratitude, among other things. But as the vice president of V Team Referral Network, I have my counterpart here, who is the president of V Team Referral Network. We're not talking about always V Team today, but this is how we're connected. This is how our relationship continues to go beyond just hello and goodbye. So, with that being said, we're going to talk about gratitude, among other things, and how we can be proactive in sharing that with and making an impact with others in the world. But before we get started with some of that great conversation, I want to pass the mic over to Jeanette.
Hello, Miss Lachelle. Thank you for that shout out about being the president of V Team. And I have to say, since December meeting you, my friend, I feel like I've known you forever and ever and ever and ever. Just because your heart is very deeply seated in gratitude and appreciation for everything that you have in your life and what comes your way. And I'm Jeanette Martin. I am the creator and one of the two co-founders. And on screen with me is the other co-founder, Kathy Fester, of the world's only gratitude and appreciation summits. There's a lot of different summits out there about gratitude, but it's missing that appreciation piece because that's part of the growth. And Kathy's going to explain to you what her definition of gratitude and appreciation is. And this is a dream that came to me after Kathy gifted me a book, Cody Bateman's book, The Power of Human Connections, for my birthday back in 2018 or 19. And I read the book in a day and a half, and we know that Cody Bateman uses the tool or the gift of a card to make people feel appreciated. And I read the book from the mindset of I use social media to make sure people feel appreciated. That's my prompting in life. And so that's the eyes that I read the book and marked the book up and tabbed the book. And fast forward a couple of months later, and I had a friend of mine, Erin Sully, who is a coach, and Frida Lombard, who is an artist, and she's just an amazing artist. We're pairing up, collaborating, and going, hey, we want to do a journaling workshop where you journal and you draw it out and fill it in, and we figure out what's going on in your mind, body, and soul. Jeanette, would you be a guinea pig? And I'm like, I'm up for anything once. So there was 3 of us in the room. And I sat down and they gave us a piece of paper, and they, first of all, Frida said, draw what's in your heart. Just draw what's in your heart. Well, Lachelle, it was a stage. It was different color hearts. It was an audience. It was trade tables of people that had gratitude journals, or even an auto mechanic that if the more we appreciate our cars, we're appreciating the environment, that we're appreciating the world. So bringing together these people to talk about how gratitude and appreciation changed the world. And then my friend Erin says, okay, fill in the words, like fill in the gaps with the words that you wanted to say. And I filled in the words about gratitude and love and just the beginning and opening up. And they're just like, wow. And I went, I know, I've got this gratitude and appreciation summit idea. I want to bring this to life. And they're like, oh, that's pretty specific. Good on you, Jeanette. Bye-bye. Thank you for being a guinea pig. And about a month later after that, Kathy and I got together because Kathy was a client of mine. I do social media, and I met Kathy networking. And I brought out this drawing and I said, Kathy, this is what I want to do. Your gift to me, this is what I want to do. I want to do the gratitude and appreciation summits, bringing together these people's hearts and sharing the stories. And Lachelle, have you ever had somebody, and I get goosebumps even saying this statement, when they say, yes, I want to put these summits together, and to have a friend whose heart, we didn't know how, we didn't mind, we didn't know body-wise, whose heart said yes. And that was the birth of the Gratitude and Appreciation Summits back in April 2019. And the short form is we call it GAS. And the phraseology or tagline that came out of it was, where in your life, your community, or yourself do you need to step on the gas? Come take a break with us as we shift the world using gratitude and appreciation as the foundation. And that was the birth of it. And we're so grateful. And I'm going to let Kathy now step in because it's evolved much since that particular April 2019.
Thanks, Jeanette. And thank you, LaChelle, for inviting us on today. I really appreciate it. And oh, Jeanette, your passion, I tell you, it's just oozing out of the screen here. I love you, girl.
I got to tell her about my gas story in a few minutes. But yeah.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. So I said yes, the fool that I was. But I am so happy and blessed that I did say yes, because the trajectory of both of our lives has just been amazing. And it's both of us are givers by nature. We give. We're not in this to be famous, to be a celebrity. We're in this to literally change the world one person at a time through gratitude and appreciation. And we define it as gratitude is the heart. It's the emotion behind it. And the appreciation is the action we take. Because we can say thank you as many times as you want, but when it's authentic and when somebody takes that extra step to share that gratitude and appreciation through a phone call, a hug, a card in our case, it's paramount. And we came up with this concept and this idea pre-COVID. And I cannot tell you that timing was perfect, because do we not need more human connection right now? We are Absolutely. All aching to hold hands. We're aching to hug. We're aching to make a connection with one another. And it speaks to the core of what our events are all about. And we take it even a step further. We actually give back to charity right along with it. So our first launch was, first official launch was in October of last year. And we had several charities on board. And we gave a percentage of those ticket sales to every single charity, so that they had something. And we've got an event coming up on April 24th. We have a charity for that. And we have charities in October for our next second annual event. And because in our core, we want to give back to our communities. And we're stretching it even further because we are truly international. Our first event was in Belgium, Hong Kong, Korea, Ireland, England, US, and Canada. Our very first one was truly international. So we knew we had something special and unique. And our delivery, we're still up in it, aren't we, Jeanette? We're like making it bigger and better. And we cannot wait to have a hybrid in 2022. I'm not sure people are going to be wanting to travel for another 3 years, really and truly. But this technology you have, I just came off of an event that's all virtual with vendors and tables in a room that I just came off of a practice thing before like, wow, the power of connecting the world is even easier now, even easier. So let's jump in with both feet and help share kindness to the world through gratitude and appreciation. And our whole idea is none of it's new. Absolutely none of it is new. The three of us know that it's needed. We all know that we need to do more of it. But having delivery from different people and sharing their stories and sharing their ideas or different approaches, we're all saying the same thing, but in a different way that reaches all of those different learners. And Jeanette talks a lot about the different types of learners. And me being a teacher, I'm actually a high school teacher that teaches music. And I'm always teaching to the different types of learners out there. So we're always very cognizant to reach visual and auditory and et cetera of all of those different kinds of people. So that's in a nutshell what we do. And this is my hobby. My job is teaching high school music students, and my hobby is spreading kindness and gratitude around the world.
I love that. And I love that you mentioned the different approaches, because you know, I know that firsthand as a mom. I can say something till I'm blue in the face. My husband can say the same thing. Oh, you know what daddy said? I need to do whatever. Or vice versa. Or somebody out of the house. So I totally get that you have to sometimes share that message with different
Absolutely.
people from a
Mhm.
different perspective. So I
That's
think
great.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our gas story is that we used that acronym. We had a community event. Well, it was just basically our family. When the gas prices went really high here, it was some time ago. And I want to say it was like almost $4 a gallon or $5 or something. And we donated some gas to the patrons. The first 20 patrons that came, we
Mhm.
put gas in their tank, and the acronym was for giving and sharing. So the
Awesome.
kids pumped the gas for the people. So I'm gonna have to send you that
Yeah.
information, Jeanette. But so I mean, us and these acronyms, it's
Oh,
crazy,
yeah.
isn't it?
Oh, yes,
But the
yes, yes.
same ones. I'm just saying. Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. So
Yeah.
going forward with this summit, what is it that people are gonna get from this that's
Oh.
gonna help be transformational for them?
Well, we have been at lots of different meetings. Kathy and I meet on a weekly basis, if not sometimes 3 or 4 times, because it's our hobby. And when you have a hobby you love, you want to keep, doing it. And we kind of identified when we think about gratitude and appreciation to the yin and the yang of the world, you feel gratitude, so you want to show appreciation. That's where the heart of it is. But now we're backing up the different areas. So if you're not loving on life, you can't get to gratitude. If you don't have integrity, you can't get to gratitude. If you're not humble, you don't know how to practice humbleness, you can't get to gratitude. If you don't know how to be kind, you don't know how to get to gratitude. So we're picking different speakers that speak to that particular topic in order to move you through. So there will be something for everybody that will learn. It's like, oh, how do I love a little bit more? How do I love myself a little bit more? How do I love community a little bit more? How do I love on my business a little bit more? And someone's going to speak about love. And then someone's going to speak about integrity. Someone's going to speak about, so very holistic approach, because I don't know about you, Lachelle, do you show up for life in fragmented pieces? No, we show up for life in a holistic way.
Yeah.
And we could have a fragment out of place, a little brokenness in place, and that's where these speakers will speak to help to heal that brokenness so we can get back to the core of moving the world in a great way through that gratitude and appreciation.
I love that you would mention that, because so often we just are like, we know where we want to go, and we think the more we can do affirmations about it or get with the right people about it. But, it takes practicing it for ourselves. But really being able to identify that people come broken, even though they can see where they want to go, and really being able to speak to that. I think that's amazing, because it really shortens the journey, because otherwise you're going around and around in circles and trying to figure out why you can't get to where you want to go.
We have such a great variety of speakers lined up and continuing to come through our doors or email. And to the point where our first major event last October, we had 100, and I'm not kidding, 100% attention from every participant for the whole 7-hour event. Not
That's awesome.
one person left. And it's because of the variety of speakers we have and what they're teaching. It's like, oh, there's something in here for me. Like, even if it's just a little piece, right? So we try and make it as engaging as possible to reach literally every walk of life. It's not one direction. And I know in October, we're changing it around a little bit. It's a 2-day event. Last year was 1 day. So you're making it bigger and better. And the Friday, October 1st, is for business owners primarily. And then day 2 is for everybody. So families, children. We even have a panel of teenagers coming on and talking about gratitude and appreciation. So we're not just reaching the people that practice it currently. We're reaching the young. We're reaching the old. We're reaching the people that would like to improve on their skills or learn something new, or, hey, you know what? I need more of this in my life. How do I do it?
That's good. And, with you being a teacher, And I know it's music, but you're just in that environment with the youth. What advice could you give teachers, parents, anybody who is in a space of dealing with youth to help them that they can implement some of these characteristics? Because a lot of times we think, oh, I don't have any money. I can't give $5,000. So my $5 isn't going to make a difference or whatever. But being a teacher, what are some things that people can practice today that can help put them on the road of this gratitude mindset?
You know what? It's really simple. It's what you give, you get. If you give heart, if you give kindness, if you give generosity, if you give a good lending ear to really listen to somebody, if you open doors for complete strangers on a regular basis, it will come back. May not be instant, but it will always come back. I'm actually teaching some of my students how to network right now because they're going to university and they don't know what that word means. They're teenagers, right? Joe's going out with so-and-so and Jane's going out with so-and-so, and there's so much drama. That's where it ends for them. But now they're thinking about their future. And I tell you, COVID is teaching a lot. There's a lot of goodness in COVID. I will stick to that because there's a lot of things we're learning. I just hope that we
retain it, right?
Going, right?
So true.
But it's what you give. I send a card to a parent of a child that did amazing presentation in class.
Wow.
Usually when teachers contact parents, they're in trouble.
Right.
I do the opposite. And I'll tell you, I'm like a second mom to a lot of my kids. I have over 300 kids in my program. Wow. So it's a very large program, but I'm like a second mom. And I'm on leave at the moment. And I email saying, I miss you so much. When can we catch up to tell you what's going on in my life? It's because I've been giving to them and they're giving back and they understand that. And that's what I teach on a daily basis and practice it. And that's really the big thing. And the other big thing as parents, I'm a parent too, is listening to our kids, really listening to our kids and taking a deep breath with them. If anything COVID has taught us is to stop, listen, and breathe. We don't need to be in this all-fired hurry to get from A to B the fastest. We don't. So
I love that. That's good advice. Now, and so Jeanette, one of the things that you mentioned was that you shared your vision with Kathy, and she was a client. So many people that are trying to craft their brand, how much is too much when it comes to letting people know your dreams, aspirations, or making that connection with your clients?
I would say the biggest one for coming on to social media is to get right with your reality first. Is that when you are out in your general community and how you show up in your reality, pre-COVID, you go into events, you show up in kindness, you show up to learn, to be an active participant. So you're showing up and you're putting your persona out there, your personal brand out there to your humanity that already exists in your life. Then when you choose to come onto social media to continue to craft your brand and to communicate your brand, I would say, let's take that craft out of that, because I've done my 10,000 times 100 hours in my actual real world. I'm now coming on to connect that to humanity, or I call them my one-dimensional people out there because they're on just one-dimensional right now. So, and making sure that I'm mirroring exactly what I am in reality. Because if we start coming onto social media, and if I start going, oh, thank you so-and-so for doing such a great job cleaning my windows today, and you tag them in, oh, thank you so much, and you start being a real thankful kind of person and being grateful, but I've never said thank you to you in person. I have never said thank you to the waiter or the waitress after serving. That person receiving that now, who knows me in my reality, will call BS. They'll go, Jeanette's playing the gratitude card and she thinks she's going to build her business by being the thank you queen. If you're not like that in your reality, to have people back you up when you start doing it on social media, it will fail horribly because it's not truth. So, Lachelle, how I teach is slowly but surely start being kind in your reality, know what that feels like, then start pulling it over to your social media. Then your sphere of influential people, as I call all my connections, and my gosh, madam, you are one of them. My sphere of influential people will come and go, wow, Jeanette, thank you for tagging me in. You're so welcome that you're tagging me in. And you know, Lachelle, when I put our pictures out that I take our fun little screenshot for V Team, I put that out because I am so grateful for you all showing up in the little Zoom boxes, being your best selves. And I can ask Kathy right now with the strongest conviction, am I any different in my reality than I am on my social media? Absolutely not. I challenge anybody who just meets me for the first time and becomes my friend the first time to put that out there, big bold letters on Facebook. Is Jeanette any different in reality as she's on social media? If you get a yes, I want to go see that person, and but I'm not. And that's what I can say about representing yourself, putting your value out there, putting your worth out there in order to use gratitude and appreciation correctly, polite.
I'll add to that too, Jeanette. It's not just what you give out to, it's how you receive as well.
That's a good point.
Right? It's how you receive. And I continually work on that. I owe it. I own it. I continually work on that.
And so we'll dive a little deeper with that, because a lot of people are like, you know, they don't really think about that. They think about the giving, but, you know, talk to us about the challenge with the receiving.
The challenge is accepting it, that people are actually kind out there in the world, that there is a place in this current world for authenticity. We don't have to play the games. You can be authentic and be successful. That's what drew me to Jeanette. Jeanette and I have only known each other for 2 years. And when we told our event planners that, they were stunned, because we're a well-oiled machine, because we're real. We both wear everything on our sleeves. We cannot be phony. It's just not part of who we are. But how many times do we meet up with people like that? Right. So how you receive that thank you, or how you receive that gesture of kindness, it's so important. In Jeanette's case with social media, thumbs up, yeah, okay. Make a response. So important. And Jeanette's a master at it. Jeanette is a master. I don't know how you do it, Jeanette. I really don't.
Well, it's about intention. You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
I'm also going to add on to that. I want you now to, when you're the receiver, to put your giver hat on. What feeling was spurred that person needed to give you something? And if you don't receive it in absolute wholeheartedness, you are not acknowledging that person wholly.
Yeah.
That person got excited to say thank you. That person got excited to send you a card. That person got excited to do you a special shout out on social media, or say a big hi across the parking lot when they saw you in the grocery store. And you just kind of went, no, my gosh, I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
And if you're not receiving that wholly and going, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Because you know what? It'll make me want to do it again and again. If you just kind of, oh no, it was nothing. I just show it. Oh no, Lachelle, I came to you. I just came, no problem. No problem. That does not do the giver any good.
Yeah.
We have to.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, because, it's like, and it's not that you're giving to seek validation or anything like that, but it is that, that excitement about, wow, I'm really going to surprise them, or they are going to be so tickled with this. And then if you don't get that response, it sets you up for a big letdown.
Yep.
And I think that's where the education piece needs to come. with the Gratitude and Appreciation Summit, in talking to people is, whoa, I got to make space, because we're so distracted. We're so thinking about the next thing. We're not present to when that gift arrives in our heart, our hand, our mind, our body, that we pass it off. We don't know how to connect the feeling to the giver to make it that full transaction, to appreciate the emotion, the energy in that whole exchange. So we got to get present. So we're going to have somebody talking about being present and being mindful in a very different mindset way, not mindset, mindful, and how to be gratitude and appreciation as well. So yeah.
Now, so tell everybody the details. When is it? How are they going to get involved? That type of thing.
Yeah,
I'll
do the spring one, Kathy, and you can do. Okay. We have a Spring into Gas, our preview event. So we have a 2-hour event coming up April 24th. It is 9:45 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Daylight Time. And our website is www.gasummit.ca. And there's a link on there. You can see who our speakers are. You can see what we did last year in 2020 and dig into all that information. So Counterpart is going to talk to you about what's happening in October.
So we have, so it's Gas Summit with 1s.ca. So October 1st and 2nd, it's a Friday and a Saturday. April 24th is a Saturday. It's a great family event. So October 1st is geared towards business owners, entrepreneurs, anybody that's wanting to up their game with their employees. Do we treat our employees with gratitude and appreciation, right? How can we make that better? How can we make that more heart-centered environment of work? And then Saturday is all about family and community. It's a 2-day event. We have prizes, we have charities to donate to. And what's unique about it is the charities are charities in the locale of our guest speakers. So one of our guest speakers is from New York. It's going to be a charity in New York. We have another speaker from, I think, San Francisco, and it's going to be a charity in San Francisco. So rather than all being in our area, because we live a half an hour away from each other. So we're spreading it around the world. We may have a guest speaker from the Netherlands. It'll be a charity in the Netherlands. So it's truly a world accessible, common language event to come to.
Love that. So this is just amazing. I love how you guys are, practicing ways that, we cannot just be a spectator. You're doing your part to put it into action. And I think that is just so commendable. And, I want to encourage everybody who's watching, it doesn't have to be a summit. It could just be doing something in your neighborhood, in your school district, just something to raise your hand to be a leader and speak up and advocate for a better tomorrow and just kind of guide people to get there. So this has just been an amazing conversation. I'm so excited to be a part of it, and want to encourage everybody who's watching to be sure to click on those links, to save those dates on your calendar so that you can get a little gratitude and appreciation in your life. So with that being said, I want to give each of you the opportunity to give some closing remarks to the audience.
I would love to. At my core, and Lachelle, I think you've heard this before, is I am a faith-based person. And I believe at my core, God made me of matter so I can take this matter and go matter to somebody else. And that's at my core. And I believe story matters. I believe everybody out there, we matter. And that's what I say about, I'm going to give a little piece of my matter away. Well, you're going to give a little piece of your matter away. And that's the gratitude and appreciation model. So this is both of our legacy. There's very few people you get to meet in this world, and you are one of them. You are living your legacy for yourself and for your children and your family. And this is Kathy and my legacy. This is a long, We've got a big, hairy,
ladies night.
yes, we've got a big, hairy dream involving many thousands of people in one particular area.
Mm-hmm. And it'll happen. You know, we always talk about our big dream conversations. So,
Yep.
you know, as long as you can believe it, you know, you just start writing out the action plan. How are you going to implement it? And it's possible.
That's right.
So,
thank you so much for having us today. It was so wonderful meeting you. Heard all about you. We are very excited about our events and what our mission is. And there's many more things that are going to be announced. So check out our website. There's lots of information there.
Love that. Well, thank you, ladies, both. And I appreciate all the work that you're doing to make this world a better place. And it's even impacting us way over here in the United States because you're both in Canada. So this is just amazing to see that it's these connections, you know, virtually that can have a global impact. So I'm excited, right? So
maybe do one little thing we love to do every Thursday. Every Thursday, and this is Thursday, on the Gratitude and Appreciation Summit Facebook page, after our October event, the following week, we have a show called Thankful Thursday Reflections. And we bring people on for about 10 minutes and we chat, whether it's a past speaker, future speaker, community volunteer, somebody who's just loving on gratitude. And we always end them this way. And we grab our right hand, we grab our left hand. You got to warm it up. We've got to warm it up to the world. And then we make a heart. We pump it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And we send kindness out to the world.
Love it. Learn something new every day. I'm never surprised with you, Jeanette. I mean, it's always something. So this is great. Want to thank everybody who watched with us today. Please click on those links. If something resonated with you, just have a conversation. Check out the website. Do something to take action. So often we get into information overload. We get all the facts, but never do anything with it. So I encourage you to reach out to them. If you have any questions, any comments, you want to get involved, you want to figure out, how can I meet these amazing people? Please put it in the comments and we'll be sure to connect you. But in the meantime, we want to thank you all for watching along with us. And we will see you on the next episode. Bye for now.